Captain Marcus Rodriguez stepped off the shuttle onto the surface of Kepler 442c, breathing in the supposedly toxic atmosphere through his standard-issue respirator. The Galactic Council had designated this world as Class 12, the highest possible threat rating reserved for what they called Deathworlds. According to the alien bureaucrats, no sentient species could possibly survive here for more than a few rotations. Behind him, his team of human colonists began unloading equipment with practiced efficiency. They'd done this dance on 17 other impossible worlds already. "Sir," called out Lieutenant Jensen, consulting her datapad, "the locals are requesting another audience." They seemed distressed. Marcus chuckled, watching as a group of Zephyrians approached across the crystalline plains. The tall, ethereal beings moved with their characteristic grace, their translucent skin shimmering in the dual star system's harsh radiation that would supposedly cook any living tissue in minutes. Ambassador Veltar glided forward, his four arms gesturing frantically. "Captain Rodriguez, please reconsider. This world will destroy you. The atmospheric pressure alone should have crushed your primitive bones by now." Atmospheric pressure? Marcus glanced at his readings. This is only about 1.4 times Earth standard. Back home, we've got people living in deep ocean trenches experiencing way worse than this. The ambassador's gill slits fluttered in what Marcus had learned was the Zephyrian equivalent of hyperventilation. But the temperature fluctuations from 400 degrees to negative 200 degrees. Nothing can survive such extremes. Temperature swings. Rodriguez's teammate, Dr. Yuki Tanaka, looked up from where she was planting earth vegetables in the alien soil. "This is practically tropical compared to Antarctica or Death Valley. At least it's consistent." The ground beneath them suddenly erupted as one of the planet's infamous crystal worms burst through the surface, its meter-wide mandibles snapping hungrily. The Zephyrians scattered in terror, but Marcus simply drew his sidearm and put 3 rounds into the creature's head. It collapsed with a satisfying thud. "Hostile megafauna," he muttered, holstering his weapon. "Just like Australia, but with fewer legs." Veltar stared at the dead crystal worm in shock. "Ow, how did you survive that?" "These creatures have devoured entire Korthak war parties." "Bullets work pretty well," Jensen replied matter-of-factly, already back to calibrating the atmospheric processors. "Plus, this thing's smaller than the grizzly bears we deal with back home." The ambassador's translator struggled with several of Marcus's team members as they casually discussed their plans. One mentioned surviving a hurricane season on Earth. Another talked about her childhood summers in Arizona. A third shared stories about ice fishing in Siberia. "I don't understand," Veltar said weakly. "Your species originated from a death world too?" Marcus paused in his equipment check. "Well, yeah, Earth's pretty hostile. We've got weather that can level cities, animals that hunt in packs, diseases that wipe out civilizations, radiation from space, seismic activity that reshapes continents, and an atmosphere that's literally poisoned to most galactic species. Then why do you keep settling on worlds like this?" "Because they remind us of home," Dr. Tanaka said, grinning as she watched her tomato seeds already beginning to sprout in the nutrient-rich alien soil. "Besides, if we can thrive on Earth, everywhere else is just practice." The Zephyrian delegation exchanged worried glances through their telepathic link. They'd been monitoring human expansion for decades, watching in horrified fascination as these bipedal mammals casually colonized worlds that had killed entire expeditionary forces from more advanced civilizations. "Captain," Veltar said slowly, "perhaps we should discuss reclassifying what constitutes a death world in our databases." Marcus laughed, the sound echoing across the crystalline plains as another crystal worm retreated underground at the noise. "You might want to start with Class 1 worlds and work your way up, because if this is your idea of impossible to survive..." He gestured at his team, who were already setting up permanent habitation domes while casually swatting away, flying razor wasps, and stepping over pools of acid rain. "Well, that's just adorable." As the twin suns set over their newest colony, The humans worked through the night, turning another death world into home.